Hi, I'm Blessed Brother Sirvante of the Santana Foundation, and today, along with the Holy Reading from the King James Version of the Holy Scriptures, I will continue to have a discussion about something that is very troubling in America, involving our government and a military weapon that is used for torture and genocide against African Americans in communities all over these United States. I myself am a victim of that such torture at the hands of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and to this day continue to be. I've had several computers of mine destroyed and over 6 surgeries as a result of being assaulted by this military weapon known as the RFD weapon that uses cell phone tower technology and radio wave frequencies and sonic technology that acts as a microwave to in essence cook you and torture you in pain and induce heart attacks and lung conditions, as well as joint dysfunction and muscle fatigue, inhibiting your ability to move and sustain a normal life. I will first start by reading Psalm 9. But before I do that, I will name some of the people who I know were involved specifically in using the RFD weapon, which is, by the way, Raytheon patented technology and licensed to the United States military, but it's under the control of Homeland Security, who has turned that control over to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who has had a long-standing history of racist persecution, even going back to the days of Martin Luther King, when it was recently revealed that they had in fact sent him a letter trying to blackmail him and urging him to step down as a civil rights leader under threat that they would expose his infidelity. These are the officers and agents who on November 17th of 2014 at 6 a.m. in the Sacramento region of California used the RFD weapon to torture me. FBI agent Havlicek, FBI agent Swanson, FBI agent Sanchez, and Sacramento police officer Swanson. I will now read for you Psalm 9, which is one of the required readings of the Santana Foundation whenever we address an issue of national or international importance, or make a contribution to a cause that we've made a determination that we want to support. I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will shew forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high. When mine enemies are turned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest in the throne, judging right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen. Thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end, and thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perished with them. But the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Sing praises to the Lord, which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me. Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death, that I may shew forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion, Selah. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. Excuse me. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. By the way, that gag reflex that I just did is part of the torture device that the RFDE weapon does. What they do is they attach it to your membranes through cell phone tower technology, connected radio waves, and they manipulate the nervous system artificially, which gave me an involuntary gag effect in my esophagus. So that's what you just saw, and that's done by the FBI. This evil, heinous, internationally outlawed conduct is also approved by the President of the United States, Barack Hussein Obama, as well as his Vice President, Joseph Biden, who uses the Treasury, or rather, the Interior Secretary as his liaison to Homeland Security, who then gives the order to the FBI to continue their torturous conduct, not only against me, but in African American communities all around America. And to this date, we know for a fact that at least 18 African Americans have been killed with falsely induced heart attacks as a result of this weapon being used against them by the Federal Bureau of Investigation to carry forward their racist agenda. I find it very troubling personally when president who represents, or is purported to represent, a nation that stands and founds itself on freedom and liberty for all, and goes around the globe apprehending those who torture and subject their citizens in manners of inhumanity and extreme degradation, would himself so forcefully put that agenda forward here in the United States at the extreme offense of nations around the world. That understanding, I'm going to conclude this reading today with a few words towards our government, which includes but is not limited to the United States Justice Department, Senator Mitchell, Senator Dianne Feinstein, and Maxine Waters, all who are well aware of this continued torture of African Americans throughout America, but have done nothing of note to alleviate this heinous and most dark conduct and egregious stain on the American fabric and the glory of our flag. This sort of treatment is likened to slavery, which, as everyone knows, was outlawed in 1865 by Abraham Lincoln, and it caused a civil war to get rid of it. This weapon is no less troubling. It's in the hands of Anglo-Saxon men, Caucasian men, white men, if you will, who are under authority of law to use cover, which is a violation of the Ku Klux Klan Act. And U.S. Section Code 42 of the United States Code, U.S. Code Section 42, which